concrete5, you can use the Layouts tool to redefine your space and put content or functionality where it wasn't originally intended. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to put this page in edit mode. And this page is using a page type of left column. Left sidebar, right here you can see, and we can change that to right sidebar. These are page types that have been defined in the theme using files. The developer behind the site made these, and there's presentation code and PHP files that renders these pages to have these columns where they're at. And generally that's how we would recommend building your site out. Figure out what form factors need to exist and make page types free for each one. But sometimes you find you just need to turn one of these block areas into something a little bit more flexible. So say for example I wanted to put these two blocks next to each other, but I wanted them kind of equidistant apart. Well, I can go to a block area, click it, and instead of hitting add to block like you normally might, I'm going to hit add layout. And the layout lets us define how many columns we want, and how many rows, and if we want to automatically put spacing between them. Just leave this defaults for now and create a layout. Now when you scroll down, you can see I've got these little handles, and I can move this around. So I'm actually going to use this center column as a gap between them, and that looks pretty good. And now I've got the main block area I was in before, and I've got these three additional ones. So I can take this block, move it, take this one, move it over here, and I can even tighten up the space a bit more. I'll save positioning, exit edit mode, publish my edits, and there you go. I've just split one column into three. Now you can use layouts throughout your site. And you'll see actually if I come back into this layout and click the plus, I can change its sort order, I can lock it so these handles don't work. Another cool feature is you can actually save these layouts as presets. So I'm going to check this checkbox on, save that as side call. And now if I'm on another page and I want to have the exact same formatting, when I add the layout I can just use that preset and it'll get this margin exactly the way I set it. Or if I change it, it'll update it everywhere. That way your site can stay consistent as you use layouts to change your column space. Layouts are a really powerful tool to give you a lot of flexibility. It's important to remember that every time you split an area into many areas, you're creating additional load on the database. So you don't want to use this where you might use a HTML table normally. You want to try to keep your page not having hundreds of block areas, but just down to a dozen or two. But as long as you keep that in mind, this is a great way to float a survey next to a block of text or split some columns up like we just did. It can be very flexible and very powerful.